run around the map, find a couple of entry kills, and then the rest can kind of follow suit. I would like to see Mentalist certainly improve in this series. He's had a bit of a stinker so far throughout Invitational. Well, cast a curse. Begin this matchup, speaking of him. And when you're playing the Ossa as well, you know, a big part of one of the win conditions, being able to push into sight, try and get a quick plant down in towards archives, especially if you've got some smokes, etc. To aid the plant, they can no longer go for that sort of play with the Talon shields. As Mentalist goes down early, he has to sit on the sidelines.
Ooh, hello, Hot. Noodle is able to find himself from the bottom to the top and remove Houghton from this early engagement. Now, the Deimos is kind of freewheeling here. The Mute Jammers will at least slow some of that intel game, but think about the flaws on this map. It's all soft, and the fact that they've placed the Mute Jammer just on top of the hatch stops it being breached from underneath, but also allows them to sort of sit on maybe some of the only territory where they can't just be gunned down with a Vendetta from underneath. Gaveni playing himself on the long angle all the way back towards the eastern stairs, but it's Reaps. It's tucked themselves in. They haven't quite been able to reach some of the heights they've done on previous international tournaments here. They want to get off to a good start, but in break, they're almost put out immediately. Flashes over the top. You can see a rotation coming through for the pressure all the way across the office again. It's Gavin going wider and wider. He's blinded, but he's able to smoothly transition to the other side of the double door. It is stacked up, waiting, holding, patient, but the support comes across and it's nothing that Gaveni cannot stop. Gets the down onto the second as well, but that will be the end. There is the Deimos, the power from underneath, but as Hoven is found, and one more by Dream, it leaves just the Deimos on the wrong floor.
Yeah, poor old Noodle by himself. Started well in this round. He's found 2 kills, but everyone else unable to win their battle. Leaves him by himself. Needs the ace as well to actually salvage it for Joel. We've seen 1v3s on border plenty of times, but 40 seconds, it's going to be quite difficult. Hasn't cleared out the site. It should be a formality finish for the round for Unwanted, and a good start as well on border defense. Noodle making the most of it as he makes the entry in towards officers, tries to clear out the right side corner, but no. Adam is just a little bit sharper.
Come to a tournament like this without an organization compared to when you did have one. It's an entirely different lifestyle potentially. Getting in training, and this is a game where you're getting 2 tastes of that. Obviously Unwanted. As a roster, from the sort of heights from some of these players to where they are to rebuilding themselves in, there's so much fire, I think, is the difference between these 2 teams. Unwanted are playing like they've got something to prove, and there is the first 2 proven. Houghton and Gaveni find one apiece here. It's a spray down deep towards the main center stairs. But otherwise, not quite caught the end of Reaps, who's being surrounded. The yellow pings reveal the player trying to drift closer in, but it draws the attention away and actually gives Unwanted a break here for them to sort of say, look, we've got these 2. Now we can reevaluate, reassess, and no trade off the back of 2 dead bodies.
Well, I love the defending from Unwanted. I think when you're playing border, you want to be aggressive on the defense, get into the face of the attacking team, you know, block off some of the map control that they're clearly wanting to establish, whether it be second floor, first floor on this bathroom site, where especially defending officers, super important. And so they're not allowing Joel to just kind of walk into the map. That's why Hoven and Noodle swinging early, because they have to clear out these positions. 3 versus 5, and then with those kills, Unwanted have the ability to fall back, play site, play time. Now Joel down a couple of players, but also not really a whole lot of time to work with either. They drop with the drone. Into bathroom goes Reaps. Needs to find the next kill. Leader does get one, and Reaps successful as well inside the bathroom. That allows the vault over now for Mentalist through Towers, but he will lose his life. And just like that, Unwanted will make it a 2-0 start, despite a last-ditch effort coming out from Joel to get site control. All the damage, really, Emmy, was done at the beginning of the round.
Yeah, it's always that sort of trade-off, right? Especially when you've got people like Gaveni, who's popping off to the level that they are. More than happy to lean into the gunfights. More kills than the entirety of his opponents over the opening 2 rounds. Dream does get called out by Leader. He's able to find his second for the map itself, and the entry statistic into their favor. But with 30 seconds left, now without waiting, that patience and that building has to come to push here. Noodle, with the sledge, is just trying to creep his way closer and closer towards the double door, but as Mentalist gets caught out and the kid is dropped cold, the grenades are going to have to be a little bit more frantic. There's a swing right onto his shoulder. They don't quite net the kill, but they've surrounded the sledge. Should be an easy pickup. Noodle takes a lot of damage, but with 9 seconds, he couldn't even make it to the side if he wanted. Hoven finds Spirits, and the same time, they throw themselves in with the kit to try and stick the plant, but Adam getting one more. Can he get the cover of Reaps. That was round the back. They got the planter.
These guys are terrible.
Backed in towards Fountain. As I said, you know, it's a more procedural take as it was in the previous round. They're not entirely throwing themselves in, but the first fight comes across. He's waiting for the swing to come against him, and Reaps suffers a bit, but did more damage to Hot and on the swing round in towards Office and past Fountain. So at this point, they've got a bit of a growth, but can they remove the player from underneath? This is Noodle's job to go for the hunt. If we can get a reveal, he can start trying to go for it with that Vendetta pistol. He doesn't want to entirely give the position away. Hotton's got himself very aggressively tucked into a corner. He's baiting as much time as possible. As soon as the reveal comes through, he knows it'll be a bit of a spray fight through the soft wall, and at the same time, look at how much time this is eating up. Sure, two players have kept each other isolated, but without that vertical pressure from underneath, it makes things stickier. Moves away at the perfect time. A game of cat and mouse might be answered with a shotgun through the wall. No reveal, the C4 prematurely thrown. There it is, and Noodle finally finds the end, but Hotton did a great job at baying so much time. Now with the verticality, they can try and go for the plant, but the impact, I mean, instantly removed it. He turned his back. He expected there to be no cover, but there always is. You've got to juggle utility in that position.
Yeah, you do, and that's Diffuser. While in a not-so-awful position, out in the open, and it's a one-for-one trade. Probably not what Joel needs right now. At least Leader getting one back. Umine taken out. 10 seconds remaining, so not a lot of time here for Joel. They have to just send it in quickly, but Adam's in a great spot. Tucked in on the Office side. 3-4 seconds left in the round means that for Joel, this one is looking done. It's 4-0 to Unwanted. Ran completely out of time. The disruption again from Unwanted on the defense has been paramount. They're making little to no mistakes, little to no errors, and not really giving Joel much to work with. Mentalist was the win condition. He loses his life. Kit's out on the floor.
Feel like they're already thinking about being home in the beds. You gotta keep that fire and ferocity, and here it is.
Solo push, but it's a good push from Harvard on the Blackbeard. He feels comfortable enough to just send himself in. Catches out Adam, who's been great. That's only his first death through 4 rounds now into the 5th, and he finally does go down. And so does Cavani as well, and so with that, it's a 2-player advantage now for Joel. This is a round in which you must secure. There should be no world that Unwanted get back into this, and Leader will make sure of it. 5-on-2, Joel finally able to win some of their picks early on. We heard them say, let's pick up the pace. And they've done that in the early portion of this round. They don't look as scared. They're going for these picks a little bit earlier. They look far more direct, and everyone looks on the same page with the same idea. We're trying to be aggressive. We're trying to get some picks. You get them. Now into sight. Easy plant. Pretty much uncontested, and the round's over.
Yeah, a bit late with the Tachanka there to try and stop the plants with the Shimmick launcher, but 2 versus 5, and this is probably as good as locked in. There's a down player outside the window, but you know, the post plant isn't the most impossible. There's almost a take there, but Leader gets the triple. And Spirits, 3 more players to try and cut through. One's coming around the top of him. The grenade will make things, well, over, actually. It's called out in the position, but it was a Blackbeard anyway you were about to try and toe-to-toe with, so it's probably not going to go well. A good round from a team that needed it.
They look depressed.
And they've been able to pick up that pace, so it's definitely sort of improved playstyle here.
Well, it's a full top floor hold right now from Unwanted. They've got themselves 4 players up, 1 player down. Hot and Cold, the only one on that first floor sitting towards server room. Does have a Nitrocell, the one and only, and has made contact with Harvard, but for all of the wrong reasons. If you are Hot and Cold, taken down to 1 HP. Harvard continuing to get aggressive as he makes his way momentarily over towards Bathroom. Spirits, though, does get the opening kill onto Reaps. Shuts down one of the top gunners when it comes to Team Joel. How does Hot and Cold win that battle against Harvard on such low health for such a long period of time? The pressure flips back the other way. Despite Joel making the contact to begin with, it's Unwanted that close it out, win the battle, and very well close to winning the war here on Border. 4-2 lead in the 6th round as Noodle recovers the kit.
Pressure behind him, though. They start to make it into more of an open bit of pressure as they shoot their way open on the door, and he's already slipped his way past the waiting area, but it means now that Mentalist can have a rough time with his back to it, because you just do not know if someone is in that position. All this verticality is going to make any opening sort of dangerous, and the plant will make a lot of noise. The smoke coverage is attempted. And not quite able to actually shut it out, and they'll be able to pull a plant off against it. Now it's going to be a 4 versus 2 close down. It's still awkward to get out of, as proven by Mentalist. Noodle finds one, but he's spinning in circles, just trying to find a direction to look for the next. He has a long watch here. It just has to be a coordinated take back here from Unwanted. Make sure they don't just give them the full opportunity. They are on the defuse. Surely there'll be a read and a kit. There's an attempt onto one. They're spraying through to the next, and they at least get it down to the pistol here. Noodle, he's going for the close fight on the detention. He gets the quad, but almost a huge moment. Spirit is able to find it with the end there, but you look at his health, it was maybe 1-2 bullets a distance between him and one of the best plays of the tournament so far.
The fact they let Plant go down into 4v2.
And then they gave them a lot of individual 1 versus 1s. If Mentalist had maybe won his fight, suddenly...
Well, Mentalist is not shooting anything right now.
That's why I'm saying if, and being a bit positive, but he didn't. And you know, there's always the possibility of that could have been different, and that's the frustration. He knows how close it can be. There is so much talent on a roster that just cannot, as you said, get it shaped together. The first body is theirs, though. The Ash is gone. Reaps is able to just tuck their way out the break room door and rotates his way back in. Doesn't want to give the ground over just yet. They're hoping the bait has been taken, and well, with the Blackbeard just watching it on, Spirits will now read that position. He's going to have to pull himself further and further back. He's not overextending as of yet. Hoven almost gets caught on the way out the door, as does Leader. But not quite the confirm that Unwanted probably wanted.
Yeah, so as we head into the second half now and want to go on to the attack, they really should be in a very commanding position. Again, the most attacker-sided map of the tournament. Comfortable lead. Mentalist still unable to get a single kill in this match. That was one of the better opportunities. And Spirits has made his way deep into armor. He pulls out the gun, puts the shield away, and therefore loses his life. Finally, Reap starting to activate on the defense, finds 3 critical kills. One back, though, by Atom is so crucial for Unwanted to stay in this round. And with Hoven's death and the plant going down from Hot and Cold, this suddenly becomes a very winnable moment for Unwanted, and he successfully gets the kid onto the floor, but a kill from Noodle. Noodle and Leader, the old classic duo versus Hot and Cold in the post-plant retake.
They went for a bit of a risky play there. Instead of stopping the kit, they wanted to try and get the cover on themselves and CC, and it's worked, but let's see if it's at the right cost. Hotten's been able to get himself back into the ground here. It is so quiet, so tentative, just seeing if they can get that first little inroad. They slip on by, and the cover is there. They're going for the defuse. Hotten has to put the pressure in, but they pop up and pull off the grenade. But is it? No, it's not going to stop the plant, but Noodle didn't hold on. Round on the Beeper's door, and he pulls himself away. He's out of time. Hot and Cold! Wow. He's still hot!
Oh boy, that is an absolute fumble, unfortunately, for Joel, but an incredibly well-played round from Hot and Cold. He's done that tremendously well.
Right, we paid a lot of compliments towards Dream, how he's been playing, but at the same time, as he gets killed off, and I mention it, but at the same time, because the team is working...
Well, there's another one, though, but like, this is the statistic that I just brought up. Joel getting the opening kills has actually been a common theme so far here on Border, yet they find themselves 1-6 down. This is where Unwanted have actually shown really good perseverance, where it's like, we don't just panic at the first sight of losing somebody. And there's that response from Hot and Cold. With just a smidge over 1 minute remaining, they bring it back to 4 versus 4. Mentalist once again in the bin. Now they go for the smoke plant inside of Tellers with the Montang, getting it down successfully. Spirits will do just that. Reaps finds a very important kill onto Atom here, as Joel are looking to just keep this map alive, but the Montang in the corner, Hot and Cold outside in the alleyway. This is still going to be fascinating, but Spirits dies to the Nitrocell, and with that, it's a 1v4.
There is no way they can lose this. That I will say out loud. There's 1, there's 2, there's almost 3, but they're going to stick it. No! It was closer! It was closer than it should have been. It didn't happen, but I am still in this constant state of concern.
Oh my...
Was very good from Joel. They had Hoven on the Overwatch, down through the hatch, picking up kills. Whether the Monty slipped by that way or not, I don't know. They couldn't quite get it. Here, the attention. Another opening kill. Reaps, he took a huge amount of damage, but it falls into your statistics. They are very good at the start of this. It's just Unwanted's adaptations seem to be sharper. Dream, the first body gone. They lose that IGL voice.
Well, 6 of the last 7 rounds now. Yeah, Joel have got the opening kill. So, I mean, that is actually a very good statistic to have, but they've just never been able to actually capitalize. Lovely vert hold from Holtman, though, shuts down Cavini, and that's going to be another resounding advantage to begin the round. 5-on-3, somewhat similar to the previous round. Joel just starting to get a little bit more of that fire in the belly, get a bit more aggressive. The push up though from Spirits, looking on the wrong way, on the wrong side, and Reaps will get the free kill with the Vector. And coming up now behind is Atom late here, top metal stairs. And again, similar to the previous round, it's that 4v2. It's that damage done already by Joel, where they've solidified a very strong advantage. Good kill onto Hot and Cold. And Joel, well, okay, a little bit late into the party, but they've made their arrival here on Border. Is it just going to be a case of too little too late?
Strong arming control. The Flores drone is removed by the impact, almost hit their own castle there anyway. They're just waiting for the stress and the pressure. Houghton does find Mentalist. There is the first kill, the entry, the curse finally broken for the side of Unwanted here. Reap suffers a bit of a scrape, but Hubbard steps in, gets one. Can he get the second? He knows it's a fight. He should win with the super shotty, but it's Spirits that at least trades it out. However, the ace, the Selma's gone on a site that probably does have a lot of requests and requirements for your hard breach. Have they utilized it, Spirits? Hops himself down to waiting, but the only thing awaiting Noodle was death. 3 versus 2, a minute for them to cook with here. If they wanted a round to be able to push over the edge into Cafe, this is the best opportunity so far.
Yeah, so down to Reaps and Leader, 2 players still standing, but the Montaigne you just know is going to be probably the biggest thorn in their side of having to deal with that. 1 impact grenade. They're going to have to find a way to get a little bit fortunate here. Maybe a mistake or an error, a misfoot from Unwanted. Otherwise, down a player with a shield in your face. You've got the death mark activated as well. Onto Reaps' position, who's already at half health. Now he has to worry about down below. The pressure immediately onto him. But Reaps enters back by getting the kill onto the Montaigne. And with that kill, changes the course of this round and the way it may conclude. Still the diffuser in the hands of Dream. He goes swinging around Armory, looking for the battle against Reaps, who's made his way somehow back on up to stay alive. No, dead, taken down, finally was so low for so long, but time runs out on Unwanted. Joel hanging on by quite literally the skin of their teeth. Huge kills from Reaps. Dealing with the Montaigne, dealing with the pressure from the Deimos. He activated like Reaps of old. They've been able to refine some really solid form. They're finding a way to capitalize on their early round advantages that they've actually been able to find, and also just looking a little bit better on the defense simply because they can just back themselves in a bit more. So you've got players like Reaps holding a certain position. He's hard to dislodge, he's hard to kill because he's such a talented player. Love this angle that's been acquired for Spirits, and Noodle goes down nice and early in the round, which is a big win for Unwanted. It is the second round in a row where they've got the entry kill. Couldn't convert in the previous, and Spirits has made his way straight into towers with the diffuser. He could go for the quick plant.
They're not going to do it. Remember the word.
He's going to do it. He just wants to readjust over towards the bomb chassis, even more cover. They do lose Dream, but we've got ourselves a 45-second round now as Hot and Cold finds a double kill. That might just settled it as Cavini as well, doubling down, and suddenly it's a 4-on-1. Mentalist finally got himself a kill, but he falters straight after anyway. Well, there was a little comeback from Joel, but they've been sent back into the ocean. Unwanted with a 1-0 lead as they claim ball. Use this map, and you're probably going to get grouped. They only play one more series, which will actually be against G2, and then that's it.
Yeah, and you know, the thing... Okay, well, there's a start. Spirits get C4'd off of the white window, and they're gonna have to pull themselves away from the corridor itself. Reaps takes the drop round and gets dropped round as Houghton moves in. The Blackbeard is gone. That's gonna be probably the biggest boon to them, as they can try and still formulate their way across. They're going to wrest some of the control here of the vertical hold as much as they can, put the pressure on towards Cocktail and force the Mirror of Hoven to have to take the hatch, have to get himself round into Laundry and not stick around and see what comes next. There is some of the control. Probably leave themselves at least a drone for Spirits to watch around on the back of the red stairs so they can start to focus and direct themselves here on towards Train, on towards the top of White, and make sure that nobody shows up behind them to cause a little bit of pain. A lot of time for them to try and piece things together. They lose the front of the push, but they've also used quite a lot of Capital bolts as well, a couple of grenades. They've got one more set of the Grim Bees left. So at this point, outside of the utility, it's just going to have to be a bit of a gun push here that I'm a bit worried about for the side of Unwanted.
Yeah, not ideal as well when hot and cold, quite low on health. Ooh, Nitrocell from Leader does land onto Atom, and so that gives the advantage back over to Joel, as they, of course, had the original opening kill. Nitrocell again placed. Hasn't exploded. 30 seconds left into the round, and I think Unwanted are still just desperately seeking for another kill before they make their way towards the site. Hot and cold posturing with that diffuser in hand. On the reading side of the map. It's just running out of time, though, and they've spent far too long seeking and hoping that they could find another kill for free before they had to push in towards reading. Finally, they do get one, but it may be too little too late until the headshot lands. And then again from behind, clears out Hoven, pushing in from Pillar. Leader by himself, and he's up above and forced to drop down. You've got to get the kit onto the floor, though. Can Dream play the cover? The Guardian watching for Cavini to get it down. Denied, though, by Leader. Joel steal the opening round of Cafe.
Steal is...
And then that's really about it. So they don't have necessarily a lot with this lineup, but they do have a lot of Claymores.
And they're all set up. They expect a game plan here, potentially done from reconnaissance. Watching Joel, how they played this map. Obviously, the other day against Liquid, they're able to pull 2 attacks and 2 defenses. So they've been able to make a top team bleed. They have the possibilities. The Blackbeard in and on the ground, and Dream removed immediately by a C4, but a crossfire. Make sure that they don't get an advantage with the bodies. Mentalist, though, finds Hotton, pops up, finds his first couple of kills on this map. Maybe the whole series, even. And
well, he only got 1 on border, so he's doubled that already.
All right. He's cooking. I think he got that 1 maybe in like the last round.
It was.
So he's been able to get himself a bit of a success story. A minute 10, and now you've lost the Bees, you've lost Dream, you've lost Hot and Cold on the Capitao as well. So
you basically got nothing.
Yeah, you have a shield, though, and they're a huge shield team.
Still 2 Nitrocells as well for Joel. Love their position a little bit more than, say, Unwanted, and they just look a little bit more confident here on Cafe, which is quite surprising, because I would have felt like Border should have been a map in which they could really play to their strengths. But they're just finding a way to get aggressive at the early portion of these rounds. Again, that's been the strength of Joel throughout this series. Has been the beginning. Unwanted are very slow to begin with, and then they've certainly got much better on-site execution. They're much better in the later stages of these rounds. So even in 4v3, don't be surprised if Unwanted, again, make this a hotly contested finish towards the last 20 seconds.
Well, there's been a rotate round on towards the top of red, and it seems like Mentalist is going to try and stop it. Has the C4, but also now has a Blackbeard. It's being pinged ahead of him. He's going to pull away as Leader gets down inside the site as well. Mentalist caught out. They're going for the plant. They have a second. It's a shotgun fight. You've got to win. There's the pop round. It's a 2 versus 1, technically. He's almost caught out, just getting himself closer into position. The Blackbeard is outside, though. As I said, they're a great shield team. They don't need the trade as of that moment. Great adaptation there from Unwanted. The big rotate.
I don't want to harp too much on the negative here, but Mentalist just doesn't need to peek left side looking into mining. If he stays behind the reinforced wall, it's going to be a lot harder to get the plant down. As soon as he dies, they can actually start getting the diffuser onto the floor. The site for Joel and the ability to get good sight lines in towards the site. You know, I haven't even cleared out bar.
No.
50 seconds. Unwanted need to get a wriggle on here.
Well, the first fight is about to happen here, but you can see that they've got themselves backed onto Bakery now. They're happy and confident they can play down the corridor from Wedding, down the corridor from Coat as well, and you're still clearing castles outside the site itself. The first smoke canister pops, the second has just been thrown and popped out well, almost checked inside the Coat room, but they're actually going to tuck themselves around because, well, they still have control of the space. Nobody is breaking the bottom of the stairs. Here's the first swing. Hotton finds Leader in the second. It's an execute across the border. Spirits is in a scrappy fight as well, but it's all coming up Unwanted here. They needed to execute quickly. There's the trade out. They're inside the site, but Mentalist is holding down with the cold kit. 15 seconds, but he's in a very tricky situation. He's trying to slip away. The blinds are coming through. He's doing his best to stop them. He can't quite get the fleeing player, but he needs to win this 1 versus 1. He's blinded out the back. Cavani's just covering as he needs to do. Well played. But it was closer than it should have been at points, I think. It was very late, but the push was excellent.
G2 will play Unwanted, and then G2 will play Unwanted.
So technically, if M80 and G2 lose every game,
G2 get to play 3 more games technically.
Yeah.
They play later.
One of them is against Joel. If Joel beat G2, I'm not sure how the system filters, because obviously it changes some time, whether it's round difference, whether head-to-head is the most important. But if G2 lose to Joel, and Joel have the head-to-head, and then G2 don't get any more points and stay on 4 points, technically Joel could make something happen, but Hodden has Mentalist. I was going to talk about this in a second, but we'll break it down because the action has already exploded. The swing round towards the top of White Stairs, 2 versus 4. Becomes a 1 versus 4, becomes Noodle all alone. There's at least one of the other shields removed, but as the E1D pops out, and the tracker, and the call, oh my god, this hurts me! Flash is coming round on towards the corner of 90. They're just trying to dig the player out, but the plant is being secured on the dining table as well. There's no pressure, no stress. They're behind the bomb chassis, no stopping this one. Another pop of the E1D, and they just muscled their way into the round, into the building.
Well, they just weren't ready for it. I don't even think we were ready for it.
No.
A Mentalist was caught napping over towards Train. He's like, wait, what are you doing in there? Hot and Cold's already into sight. The power of the Blackbeard, and then he got that kill as well. I think it was onto Leader. They ended up trading each other, but that was still 2 kills on the entry for Hot and Cold. I mean, you're playing Blackbeard, you get 2 kills on the entry. That's job done. You have absolutely set
of the teams that you're up against. But 3-1. No point sort of nitpicking the plays when at this point the plays are already exploding in. They're inside the site. They're about to hit a man in a train. He doesn't even know he's on cams. Oh no! There's Adam on the top of White Stairs looking for the next fight, but he gets dropped by Leader. At least stops them temporarily, but as the Blitz is trying to just scream his way towards it, they do still technically have control of one of the sites. Will they try and rotate that kit round to it? At the minute, Kaveni's able to lock off one more. Reaps is watching and waiting for Dream, trying to enter on towards Pillar. The Blitz blinds the player. He just gets out of there, fair enough, but they're still inside the site. Reaps dropped down, spins the player, but there it is, locked out. It was another quick break, smash and...
the North teams, you know, like, can have their moment, then the South and back.
I think it's tougher for... you know, APAC as a whole. Obviously, you and I have been with it for a long time. As the hop out comes round, there's at least one. Not enough claymores, but they almost had the second follow through. The Blackbeard was on watch, and this is going to be an instant response on towards Cocktail, on towards Top White, and they are in and off to the races, but Reaps and Mentalist are deciding that they don't want to run the race just yet.
They looked far more prepared for the unwanted rush attack that they've been doing over the last 2 rounds. That was better from Joel, as long as they don't throw it from here, because Reaps, of course, still on the floor, finished off by Kaveni, and now becomes a 2 versus 2 from what was a 4 versus 2 advantage for Joel, where they did look ready for the rush, but the response from these 2 superstars is very swift. Kaveni up to 12-1.
Having an absolute fantastic series so far, and you can see that he's very, you know, cavalier about his attitude. He's throwing himself in, he's having fun, he's complimenting his opponents at the same time. That C4 was maybe an inch off of being on the other side of that barricade and getting the confirmed kill at this point. They now have some coverage. A bolt either side of the utility as they're getting themselves just a bit of a route and an angle through. I'm not sure if they had the full eyes there on the player's approach, but Hodden's going to make his way around on towards Cigar. High and across the long fight towards the back of Cocktail. Almost saw the side of Leader, who's backed in. Mentalist is currently playing in the middle ground on Freezer.
Is he aware that Mentalist is inside of Freezer? I think he's going to have to... Oh, he will. Mentalist just waltzes out of what felt like a little bit of a safe haven for him. Hot and Cold taking on Leader in a 1 versus 1. Red ping information, all too easy for Leader. It's the second clutch from him so far on Cafe. He is a big reason why they've got some of the rounds that they've gotten. You think back to the opening round, it was a plant going down in sight. He denied that plant, they win the round. And so
fireplace, and then things went a little bit further away from them. Goodbye, Reaps. Welcome back into the server. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the perfect response here from Unwanted, right?
I mean, that's exactly the way that I think that they should have approached this half for Unwanted, which is Joel are doing well in the early portion of the round. They're finding entry kills. They're having the numbers advantage. What better way to try and alleviate that issue than spawn peeking on Cafe?
Where even with the foot working against them as they go for the plant here, it might still be something they can structure. Now, missing the plant was a problem for Unwanted last time.
How has this not been denied? No one's even aware. The irony is, before the break, we had, of course, the thoughts from Unwanted saying, did they even know that the blitz was in the site? Well, I ask you that question, Unwanted. Did you even know the blitz was in the site? Mentalist gets a free plant. You had 3 nitro cells available. No one contesting that whatsoever. And Joel can now set themselves up for a pretty decent post plant. Run out successful from Gaveni. Finds his second in the round coming out of Pillar. But Hoven able to answer back with the elimination of Hot and Cold, keeping Joel in a pretty good position. Doubles down with that one onto Spirits. It's a bit of a whiff shot from Gaveni, battling towards Train, but he finishes it off. And now looks to stick for the counter defuse. Coming up white stairs late here is going to be Hoven Dream, throwing his body to just try and protect. Joel, though, claimed the round.
Joel, they have to try and make some space, pull some attention elsewhere to alleviate and allow that position to get in, and that seems to be coming from the bottom of white for now, but also Mentalist prepped at the top, and if he gets caught out here with Spirits, who isn't too far away, I say that as he drops down on towards Pillar and rotates out from Reaps, well, they're just sort of chasing Ghost. Spirits finds Noodles, slips his way all the way down, and suddenly who they were hunting on the top floor is gone. Hoven, though, he's round the back of the mirror, but cannot quite save the blitz, but does save either side of the white stairs. A 3 versus 3. They have to recollect that kit, though, that's at the top of the stairs and try and make something happen with it.
Yeah, they got time, though. Not a full rush, 30 seconds, plenty of time to retrieve that diffuser. I think they've just got to send either, probably Leader going back up and get it. That's where he is at the moment. Bar collects it. Hoven with the 3rd kill on the round. So while they spent time to actually go and get that diffuser, Hoven pushes forward, gets the kill onto Adam. Now, leaves still Hot and Cold alive, and he's got a nitro cell in his hand that he very well could still have a very impactful moment with through from the freezer hatch. And this yellow ping gives him the information. Does it find a kill? No. Leader stays alive. Steps on the goo mine, has to stick the plant inside of the smoke, and there is still a chance that this could get denied. Dream inside of mining. Reap's doing everything possible to deny, but through the wall and shot through the heart. They deny that plan from going down. Huge round win for Unwanted and puts them a bit closer to confirming this map.
Operating, when you're on your attack, you need generally all the pieces of the puzzle to work because you are the one that is probing and posing those questions. They've pulled themselves off the blitz instead on towards the Blackbeard, utilize that soft capabilities, get yourself in, maybe a bit sharper and a bit more aggressive, but Mentalist doesn't really play the shield traditionally aggressively. He's not trying to find those fights. Leader goes down.
He got him.
Didn't confirm the kill.
I mean, at this point, he may as well be dead. I mean, it's
bought.
Someone has to just basically go back to spawn to get... Oh, the kid's there anyway. Okay, so he will get brought back up, obviously. But yeah, this is a bit of time denial, if anything. Leader's going to be on low on health. It's wasted time. That's 2 players that have not been able to get into the map, you know, do things, get set up. So this is going to be a very disrupted attacking round now for Joel. And this is great as well from Dream, getting some really good visual information and confirmation too. They'll know that Leader is very low. They'll know that he got downed. Good calls here from Dream as well.
It's the exploratory...
They can't do much with it, though, because they're all first floor.
Yeah, the exploratory Echo drone that sort of finds its way out and reads that intel. They've got to double time it at this point because they're still clearing top floor for a kitchen take, right? You could see that Mentalist obviously started to make some work happen whilst they were going for the pickup. They've lost about 40 seconds from 2 different players in that operation. The perfect play against it. There wasn't quite the cover in this. You know, you think about the danger of what's going to potentially be thrown up or near the players. You've got smoke canisters, the Goyo as well, the goo mines against Leader. It's all terrifying and devastating for your hard breach to now have to tiptoe, especially when it is a player that has been so sort of monumentally important for Joel throughout this map, especially the pressure from the soft destruction with 30 seconds. It feels like it's shaping itself up to be a throw it in on towards the freezer and go for the plant, but with an Echo drone, with all the fire on the other side, I mean, I cannot really see this come together. The cover is lost. There's an Echo drone almost entirely missed. Noodle steps into where Reaps was dropped, taking the fight on the back of the bar, bouncing the nade round. Mentalist wants to just try and get in and stick it, but the second Echo drone has made its way around here. They need to get rid of it, but they got rid of Mentalist instead. Noodle finds Spirits, and at this point, I don't even think they can get in to where the kid is to get it picked up and put back down in time. Another fire pops here, and just the downing of the player outside and the time it took away from them has now potentially taken the map too. They are sitting on map and series and maybe the point that could potentially guarantee Joel leaving.
19-3 performance could look to drop 20. That's going to be a down for Reaps, though, onto Spirits as he makes his way down White Corridor. Clears out a lot of utility as well for good measure as Joel get themselves a momentary advantage. Absolutely, of course, now must win in every single round from here to try and force overtime. They can no longer make any mistake. 90 seconds remaining in this round. Unwanted, fall back to site. They will play site. And this has really been the struggle for Joel. They get the opening kill, then they turn their attention to site, look for the execution. And unfortunately, that's when it all just falls apart. And we're looking for a flank, a retake up above. Atom from top red. Noodle, though, watching. Wary of the fact that they wanted to go and get some pressure onto this top floor. Still has red ping information as well onto hot and cold. Trying to play the close angle, trying to be that nuisance. They've got players on site still. But ultimately, Joel definitely in a good position to extend this map of Cafe.
They have a moment here, a second with a body advantage or two that they can try and press at this point. The defenders are just trying to get a little pocket of space, and the coverage of the intel, the cutoff of the rotations, hot, and he's able to dip out. He gets one. There's got to be a reaction from Reaps. He can't quite confirm the kill. He's shooting every which way, but they have 30 seconds to work with, and they do get Gaveni. So Reaps not sitting around, going to go for the plant, but there's the cover from above. Hoven. Now that's a Guardian Angel leaving just Houghton with a single HP, but the work had been done this time. When they had time to cook, when they had time to build on their attack, they were able to make it happen. 6-4 is the distance. It's sort of hot on the tail, and again, I love this pace here from Joel.
Yeah, I think Unwanted's done well, though, to just get back, play site, and give up that top floor. If Joel want to start running around the map and go for that all-aim, no-brain kind of gameplay, then they can just fall back, play site, play key positions and angles. Nitrocell towards the window isn't going to find anyone on the rappel, and Reaps is going to lose his life to hot and cold. And it's just classic Reaps, though. Runs around, and sometimes it works, and he gets a couple of kills, and then other times finds himself in a position where he wants to maintain that aggression and just overstays his welcome. You know, you're on the sledge, you want to open up floorboards, dead, Unwanted, opening kill.
Play against it. As I said, you know, they have some of these heavy setups, but as Dream finds
run out. He just got the, yeah, well, there you go. There's that counter punch straight away, knows where they are, goes for the run out, gets the kill, does get traded as he's crossing back in towards the building and through sight. Logic bomb from Noodle. He's been so instrumental for this team throughout the series, 5-2 since the rehost. His final logic bomb. They have flashes, but they don't have a lot of time.
Ready and inside and outside immediately. Adam has the cover on Mentalist, and as these seconds tick away, there's got to be a bit of a sprint towards the kit. It's called by the Valk Cam, but the C4 is the end of it. And could that be the end of Joel? Very likely. Not confirmed, that's other people's numbers, but it is maybe the confirmation. Unwanted are just proving themselves game after game here. They were, you know, a great performance yesterday here, calm, cool, collected, and continually in control against the team that is similar circumstances, roster changes coming into it, not with the org, not with the representation, but only really one of these two teams was representing today.